Traders, how are you? Welcome to this institutional scalping video, live intraday trading, real-time trade that I took. So you'll see exactly how I was acting. This is the way I used to trade when I worked in a professional environment. So you're not going to see this stuff anywhere else. So stick around. Like and subscribe if you like this type of information. We're going to get straight into it because basically I'm already in the trade, right? I wanted to show you something slightly different. Where I actually had to take some heat today. So context is that the markets moved down, didn't really make much leeway to the downside. We had huge buyers coming in. So I thought, okay, there's room for this to go and test after a small retrace, go and test the highs of the RTH session. So that's basically what I'm looking at. The market has gone against me a little bit. I'm fairly relaxed about it. That's where the most volume has taken place today. We can see that here. So I'm fairly relaxed. Really important, you know the right levels to be looking at. The market's going to be reacting to where the most volume has taken place before, nothing else. So none of those made up indicators needed. So very relaxed. I'm going to push it forward now and just show you how it played out. So like I said, just wanted to fast forward it a little bit because it did hang around in this area quite a bit. So you can see a lot of volume building up in this area. Didn't really get much past where the previous volume levels were. You can see very little volume actually traded down there, which is why I wasn't too concerned. And then you can see the surge of buying coming in, which is taking me up now to these highs. So slightly on side here, but you know, a lot of people, I feel like when things go offside and it gets back to break even, they get very excited and start taking stuff off. You know, you gotta remember why you got in the trade in the first place is to take out the highs. So you know, for me, it's nothing. Just because the market went against me, I don't feel any relief just because I'm suddenly now positive. I am waiting for my original target. So you can see I've not done anything yet. There's my first exit, well above where I entered, which is what I was planning to do. Just as we approach this lower volume area and the highs. Right, so stuck to my plan the whole time, took one off there. Now I'm going to wait and see what transpires. You know, just because I'm making money in the trade doesn't really mean anything. Obviously I want the market to dictate when I should get in or out of the trade, so I'm just waiting now. I can still see quite a bit of buying coming in, so I'm fairly happy with where it is, letting it play out, letting the market move in my favor. I want to see what the reaction is at these highs. So I can see that we are, what I like to see normally, right, is I like to see, and I've just taken the thing away there, but I like to see the reaction up there, right, before I do anything. So I want to see, is it flush? Is it going straight through, you know, because a lot of people would have got short. Just showing my order fills there. A lot of people would have got short there and basically placed stops up there. So I want to see our stops being taken out. Probably not a lot of stops up there because we haven't had a flush. So it's time for me to think about lightning. Now you see how I gave it some time. Think about, do I potentially want to take some more off the table? Not just because we got to that level, but because I gave it some time. It wasn't really having that flush effect that I wanted it to have through the highs. You're not going to be able to see that on a plain candlestick, right? You can only see that here, where I'm actually looking for a whole bunch of buying to come in. And now we're starting to see a little bit of that come in, but still I would have liked to have seen possibly that just move a little bit more easier than it does. We can see some offers. So there you go, I've taken some off there. As soon as I saw those offers coming in, about 400 up at the 80 area, because now I know other people are thinking the same thing as me, that it's taken a little bit of time to move through. So some big players that got long in, let's be honest, a lot of people got long in this area where I was getting long, because we can see when I initially initiated the trade, there wasn't a lot of volume in that area. Now there is. So a lot of those guys, right, it's a good educated guess that they are also trying to exit up in that area. So for me, just trying to stay a little bit ahead of the curve, take some off the table. So now I'm up around 450 on the day. So I've banked just over 200. and my existing position is up just over 200, so about 450 on the day. But again, I don't want to just jump the gun. I want to wait and see how we react now with my final position up at these levels. I want to just wait to see as we get up into that area exactly how we react. So I'm just going to fast forward it as we get into that area. Okay, so we're now approaching that area that I was looking at, and actually it's this hole. You can see here how long I sat in this trade, something like 15 to 20 minutes. Okay, even when I made myself a cup of tea, I was just waiting, very relaxed, to see what we can do, how much damage we can inflict up in this kind of area. If we can now really start to push ahead, you can see the point of control has actually moved. Do you remember the point of control was much lower where I was defending or trying to defend some of my position? Look how much we've shifted into this area. So I'm now looking to see at this new high 81, what sort of reaction do we get there? If we get a weak reaction, I'll probably take off the whole position. If we get no reaction, then that's probably me done. Now actually what you're seeing happening here is we've completely failed to even go and make a test of that area. So what you're going to actually see is, and it's one of the reasons I was quite keen to show this trade, is because it's slightly different to the normal. You can see how the market normally will go and test the area again, just so to give you a little clue. The way that we've flushed back here, and now we're below the point of control, right? The new point of control, the fact it shifted up and we're out, you can see I just took off my position there as we came back into my entry area, and we were on the underside. Why? Because the flush. Remember I talked about I like to see a flush. Well, I didn't see the big flush that I wanted to the upside. I started to see it to the downside. You can see a lot of these sellers coming in, and therefore I took the trade off. So just summarize here, ended up with 225. At one point I was up over 500 on the day, but it doesn't matter. You see how every trade is managed properly, in the sense I'm waiting for the market to tell me when I should get out of the trade. I'm normally looking for some sort of reaction. On this occasion we didn't get it, and everyone, you can see, agreed with me. They were looking for that reaction to see whether obviously buyers were going to maintain this new push through the local highs, which you see here, and that just didn't happen, and we fell away. So it was the right decision to get out of the trade. And we got out. Something completely different there today. Hopefully you enjoyed that. You know, like I've said in the last video, there will be multi-$1,000 days and all of that, and you're going to see plenty of that, and I will show you all of that. But this was something slightly different, where I wanted to show you how I manage when things don't go my way. You know, I don't get stubborn, I don't stick with it. I saw the flush against me past kind of the area that I was hoping would be defended. It didn't happen, so I got out. Hopefully you enjoyed that video to see how institutional traders trade. Don't forget, click this button to subscribe to the channel so you get future videos. Leave me a comment below. Have a great Thanksgiving. See you later.